immediately you fall in love. You know, when we met Jake and Millie's daughter, it was just immediate.
Jon Bon Jovi, the rock legend whose voice once shook stadiums, just melted the entire internet with one sentence. And no, it wasn't about a new song or a comeback tour, but about a baby, his granddaughter. The man who made millions scream with "Livin' on a Prayer" just whispered something that made fans cry. Because this time, it wasn't about fame, love, or heartbreak. It was about something so much deeper: family. And once you hear what Jon said about Millie Bobby Brown and Jake Bongiovi's baby girl, you'll never look at the Bon Jovi dynasty the same way again. For decades, Jon Bon Jovi has been known as the definition of cool. Leather jackets, guitars, sold-out tours, the kind of life most people only dream of. But now, he's traded the spotlight for something much softer. 2 months after Stranger Things star Millie Bobby Brown and Jake Bongiovi revealed they'd adopted a baby girl, Jon Bon Jovi couldn't hold back his emotions. During an interview on the Today Show, the rock icon opened up about meeting his new granddaughter for the first time, and the way he described it? Pure love. Immediately you fall in love, he said, smiling in a way fans rarely see. When we met Jake and Millie's daughter, it was just immediate. You're like, that's my granddaughter. It wasn't just what he said. It was how he said it. The same man who once sang about heartbreak and wild nights was suddenly the picture of warmth, talking about the tiniest new member of his family. But the sweetest part was still to come. Jon didn't just stop at being a proud granddad. He revealed something that sent fans over the edge. His new grandpa name. "I'm Papa," he said proudly, before joking. "She won't be able to walk for at least 10 or 12 years because Papa will be carrying her everywhere she goes." Just picture that. Jon Bon Jovi, the same man who's been on stage in front of millions, carrying a tiny baby around like she's the most precious thing in the world. It's a rare, intimate glimpse of the man behind the music, and fans couldn't get enough. Online comments flooded in, calling it the cutest thing Jon's ever said. One fan wrote, "Forget the rock star, this is Papa Bon Jovi era." But as sweet as this moment is, it's just one part of a bigger love story, one that ties together music, movies, and a little bit of modern magic. Jon Bon Jovi has always been a family man, even when the world tried to pull him away. He's been married to his high school sweetheart, Dorothea Hurley, since 1989. They've built a strong, private family through decades of fame and temptation. Together, they share 4 children: Stephanie, Jesse, Jake, and Romeo. They've watched each other grow through every era of music, film, and now parenthood. Jake Bongiovi, at just 23, is now stepping into a new role, fatherhood. And it's clear where he learned how to love and protect his own family. From Jon himself. For Jon, seeing his son hold a baby, his granddaughter, must have been a full-circle moment, because the same arms that once cradled Jake as a baby are now holding Jake's child. Before there was a baby, there was a spark, one that started back in 2021. Jake Bongiovi, the son of a rock legend, posted a simple photo with Millie Bobby Brown. The caption read, "Of 3, the internet went wild. Rumors swirled." And before long, that friendship turned into one of the most talked about young romances in Hollywood. By November 2021, they were Instagram official. By 2022, they were walking red carpets together, matching outfits, holding hands, radiating happiness. And in 2023, they announced their engagement with a post inspired by Taylor Swift's song Lover. Then came May 2024, a quiet, private wedding that surprised everyone. No paparazzi circus, no over-the-top production, just family, love, and peace. And a year later, their family grew. In August 2025, Millie and Jake dropped news that stunned their fans. "This summer, we welcomed our sweet baby girl through adoption," they wrote on Instagram. "We are beyond excited to embark on this next chapter of parenthood in both peace and privacy." And then there were 3. The post was simple, elegant, and emotional. No flashy photos, no brand deals, just a heartfelt announcement. Fans praised the couple for their honesty and the choice to adopt. Some said it was a beautiful reminder that family isn't about blood, it's about love. Others admired how Millie and Jake were building a family on their own terms, away from the spotlight. Jon Bon Jovi must have felt proud, not just because his son became a father, but because he became the kind of man who leads with heart. Weeks later, Millie gave fans a rare peek into her new life as a mom. In a photo dump on Instagram, she shared a sweet picture of her and Jake cradling their baby, their heads gently touching. The caption? My T-Swift October. A nod to Taylor Swift's The Life of a Showgirl, and maybe a quiet celebration of the performance of her life, motherhood. Fans flooded the comments. Motherhood looks beautiful on you. Jake and Millie's glow is unreal. And one that stood out. She's not just 11 anymore. She's everything. It was soft, intimate, and real. A side of Millie fans hadn't seen before. In an interview with Time magazine, Millie spoke about her new reality as both a wife and a mother. When asked about her connection to her daughter, she smiled and said something that made hearts melt. It's the same thing, she explained. Because without her, there's no him. So it's the same thing. A simple, profound truth, one that perfectly summed up how deeply intertwined her love for Jake and their baby is. At just 21 years old, Millie has gone from child star to young mother, handling every chapter of her life with quiet strength. And fans have noticed. From Stranger Things to Enola Holmes to this, her most personal role yet, she's grown up in front of the world and somehow stayed grounded. Jon Bon Jovi isn't new to emotional evolution. For years, he's balanced fame and family, music and meaning. But now, being Papa has given him a new purpose. He even joked about performing for his granddaughter one day, telling today's Savannah Guthrie, I count on that. Imagine it, Jon Bon Jovi, guitar in hand, playing soft lullabies instead of anthems. It's the kind of image that makes even the toughest fans tear up. He's no longer just the man behind It's My Life. He's living proof that life changes. Love deepens, and family always comes first. What's rare about the Bon Jovi Brown family isn't just their fame. It's how normal they've managed to stay. In a world where celebrity families are constantly performing for cameras, this one seems to do the opposite. They protect what matters. John and Dorothea raised their kids with privacy and purpose. And now Jake and Millie are following the same path, shielding their child from media chaos while still sharing glimpses of love with the world. It's not about fame anymore. It's about peace. When Jon Bon Jovi sang Livin' on a Prayer in 1986, it was an anthem for dreamers, for fighters, for those holding on through tough times. Nearly 40 years later, that same song feels different. Because now, it's not just about holding on. It's about passing love down. From John to Jake, from Jake to Millie, from Millie to their daughter, the prayer's still there. It's just being whispered as a lullaby. In the end, Jon Bon Jovi's rare comments weren't just heartwarming. They were a reminder of what truly matters. He may be a legend, a rock icon, a superstar, but to one little girl, he's just Papa. And that's the most beautiful title he's ever earned. From sold-out stadiums to bedtime stories, from world tours to baby giggles, Jon Bon Jovi's world has changed. And in that change, there's something deeply human, something that reminds us all that fame fades, but family never does. So maybe, after all these years, the greatest song Jon Bon Jovi will ever sing isn't on a stage. It's the one he sings softly in a quiet room, holding his granddaughter close, where love is louder than any crowd could ever be.